Good morning. Day 5 of dealing with COVID in the household. If you've watched any of my earlier videos, you know that I thought about taking our YouTube channel down just because I want to be sure that I respect, the privacy of everyone. One of the things with COVID is that it is so sneaky and there's so much that's unknown about it. And it's like such a huge spectrum of where you're going to end up with it, that one of the things I totally didn't want to do is incite panic among people who know us. So I certainly understand the panic though, but honestly the chances are, even if you don't know us, that there are just people out there walking around who have COVID. So with the numbers going back up, that's the bottom line. But I think that very issue just kind of brings up one of the reasons that this is such a freaky disorder, and why people panic when they find out that someone has been exposed to COVID. Is it's just such a crazy spectrum. Well, first off, it's so darn contagious, obviously, but it's also such a spectrum. It's so, we don't understand so much about it. For some people, they literally do not even know they have it. They develop no symptoms. And for other people, they end up developing really bad pneumonia, blood clotting issues, and end up needing to go on a respirator. And unfortunately, when somebody is on a respirator, the odds of them coming off of it are not good. 80% of people who end up on a respirator do die, according to the latest United States data that I've been reading. And so I get it. It makes total sense. Believe me, that's why I was so freaked out when I found out my husband had COVID, is the fear of the worst. And so, if you have a disorder yourself, or you have a kid who has a disorder, there's a lot of things that are on really broad spectrums like that. Like, one of my kids has an autoimmune disorder, and it's a huge spectrum from you're just can't eat wheat, all the way to you can't eat any food and you're hideously sick and on a feeding tube every day of your life. Autism, similar thing. You get an autism diagnosis for your child, and you don't know if they're going to be completely nonverbal and incredibly intellectually disabled, or at least unwilling to communicate, or if they're going to end up virtually nobody can even tell that they have autism. And that's one of the torturous things, not just about COVID, but any disease or disorder that runs on a big spectrum. And so one of the things that I hope to show by chronicling our family's journey is that, first off, not everybody who is in contact with somebody who has COVID is going to get it. So it is very contagious. Again, we all know that. According to what we know so far, it seems to be less contagious outdoors than indoors. But, even with, so far anyway, I'm testing negative despite living in the home of somebody who has it, with my husband having it. So we have a part-time nanny, and she has been working every day up until Wednesday, when my husband got his diagnosis. And so she just tested negative. Super happy news. Obviously, I'm over the moon to find out that she's negative. But I think that's good news, not just for our nanny, but it's good news for anyone else who we've been in contact with, because our nanny has been in our house, and she's in very close contact with my children. They're pretty much, they're young, 4, 7, and 16. The 4-year-old and the 7-year-old are pretty much slobbering all over people for 50% of their daily activities. So really good news there. So not everybody who has contact with someone with COVID is going to get it. We all throughout, like since I got back from a work trip to New Orleans, like in mid-March, we've been taking a lot of precautions around our house. Um, so, you know, we've been Lysoling the door handles and um, I don't know, just like washing and sanitizing our hands a lot. So, yeah, just because you have contact with someone doesn't mean you'll get it. And even if you get it, like the vast majority of people are going to be fine. We do, of course, we all worry that we're going to be the really bad case because some young people are affected. Got some neighbors doing construction there. But most people, even the majority of older people who get it, end up being okay. And so we just have to take care of ourselves. I think if you have some pre-existing conditions that put you at a higher risk category, you maybe would choose to be more careful. But also, if your disorder is at all controllable, i.e., obesity and diabetes, like now is a really good time to try to lose some weight and get your disorder under control, because those are like big risk factors. So, at any rate, super happy. Nanny has tested negative. My husband continues to do well. His symptoms really haven't changed. He actually feels quite normal at this point. No fever. I guess pretty normal. And then my kids seem to feel normal and fine. And we're still awaiting their test results. So anyway, that's where we're at today. Just being honest and trying to kind of share our journey. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.